Learners, kia ora, welcome. In today's session, we shall be studying about wines from the country which has beautiful landscapes and is popular for adventure tourism. That country is New Zealand. New Zealand is also the country known to Americans by the movie Lord of the Rings. Now let's understand the objectives of this session. To understand the brief history of New Zealand wines, to learn about wine producing regions of New Zealand, to learn about popular brands of the wines from the country. Let's begin. New Zealand is a remote island nation in the Pacific Ocean. It has wine producing history that extends back to the founding of the nation in 1800s. As an isolated, cool climate island nation, New Zealand enjoys an undeniable advantage when it comes to producing distinctive, ultra-high quality wines. New Zealand has 10 major wine-producing regions spread across the North and the South Island. New Zealand today contributes 1% of total world wine production in volume, and 96% of New Zealand vineyard area operates under independently audited sustainability programs. Let's take a look at the history of winemaking in New Zealand. The earliest history of planting wines in New Zealand dates back in 1819, when Samuel Maston, a missionary to New Zealand, arrived in Northland with 100 vines that he went on to plant at the mission station. In the year 1840s, a British resident named James Busby made the first wine recorded in New Zealand. The grapes were from a small vineyard that he planted in Waitangi. In the same year, there were a number of significant immigrants to New Zealand from Europe that went on to set up vineyards in different regions across the country. Total area under vine is 387 hectares and producing around 4.1 million liters in 1900s. However, during 1940s, phylloxera destroyed many vineyards in New Zealand, and some wine growers thought that the vinifera hybrid wasn't suitable for the growth in New Zealand, and they decided to replace them with harder European American hybrid wines. Unfortunately, the grape quality was inferior. Until 1960s, Vitis vinifera wines made a comeback in New Zealand, and high quality wines were produced again. With the same need, the demand for quality wines increased in the year 1970s, and in the year 1973, Montana sets up in Marlborough, and this region becomes the largest grape growing area of New Zealand, with Sauvignon Blanc as a premium variety. Further, in the timeline, with promotion of wines overseas in the year around 1980s, New Zealand started exporting wines in Europe, the USA, and in Asia in the year 1990s. In 1997, New Zealand wine industry became the first wine industry to establish nationwide sustainability program. Over the time, growth in wine export exceeded up to 1 billion New Zealand dollars in value in the year 2010. And today, in 2020, total of 716 registered wineries with total production of 297 million liters export wines at 1.8 billion New Zealand dollar value. Now, let's take a look at the popular grape varieties that are grown in New Zealand. The white grape varieties include of Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Gris, Gewürztraminer. And the red grape varieties include of Pinot Noir, Merlot, Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc. Now let's take a look at the wine regions that are in New Zealand. Most of the New Zealand wine regions have maritime climate. Maritime climate is also known as oceanic climate or marine climate. As New Zealand is located or is an island which is located close to the ocean, it has the climate which is maritime, meaning it is sunny but not dry summer. It is cool but not a chilly winter, which proves really good for the growth. New Zealand lies on the border between the Pacific and the Indo-Australian tectonic plate, which contributes to the volcanic soils that are found mainly in the North Island. And the South Island of New Zealand owes more to the geographical to glacial movement. Wine regions. There are a total of 10 major wine regions that are in New Zealand which produce wine, which with each of it showing great diversity in climate and terrain. No region is more than 130 kilometers, that is 80 miles from the sea, and the proximity of vineyards to the ocean has a pronounced effect on the character of New Zealand wines. Mild, sunny summers and marked differences between day and night temperature in many regions allow slow ripening of the grape and allow them to develop pure, intense varietal flavor. Today, we'll be studying 4 different regions. The first one is Marlborough. Marlborough put New Zealand on international wine stage with exquisite Sauvignon Blanc in the year 1980s. Over 20,000 hectares of wines, that is around two-thirds of the total national total, are under the care of the local wine producers, making it the country's largest wine region. Marlborough wineries offer a huge range of varieties, from exquisite Pinot Noir to intense Chardonnay and vicious aromatics. Popular wine producers from this region are Odyssey Wines, Pear Tree Winery, Fern Ridge, and RT Wines. Let's take a look at the second region known as Hawke's Bay. New Zealand's second largest wine region, sunny Hawke's Bay, has been an abundant source of fine wine since 1851. Hawke's Bay is the best known for the red blends and Chardonnay. But aromatic whites are consistently good, and Syrah, that is Shiraz, is incredibly impressive. Hawke's Bay is the home to an outstanding wine tourism culture and offers a wide variety of cellar door experience as well as regular food and wine festivals. Hawke's Bay also has a bicycle wine trail where you take the tour of the vineyard on the bicycle and understand the vineyard and the production. Popular wine producers from Hawke's Bay is Oak Estate, and Mackenzie, Oyster Bay, and Morton Estate. And next region is Auckland. This region is large and very diverse, is home to some of the New Zealand's biggest wine companies as well as numerous high-quality boutique vineyards, offering something for every palate. Auckland is one of New Zealand's oldest wine region, established in the early 1900s by passionate Croatian, Lebanese, and English winemakers. It is home to wonderful red blends as well as aromatic Chardonnay wines. And the popular wine producers are the Hunting Lodge, Peacock Sky, Frenchman's Hill Estate, and Kennedy Point. And next region is Gisborne. Gisborne, the mix of high sunshine Vibrant landscapes, fascinating history, and exciting range makes Gisborne an enchanting wine destination. Rich in history, Gisborne claims Captain Cook's first landfall, as well as being the first place in New Zealand to see the sunrise. With the history and wine destination, wine tourism is quite popular, or wine tours are quite popular in Gisborne. Chardonnay is the dominant variety and enjoys the great success in the region. And the popular wine producers are Natural Wine Company, Tohu, Longbush, and Duck Hunter. Now, let's understand wine labeling laws of New Zealand. New Zealand wine labels must comply with mandatory wine labeling requirements that are outlined in the Australia-New Zealand Food Standard Codes. And some of the key mandatory requirements include of the volume of the wine, which must be stated on the front label, the percentage of alcohol, and the number of standard drinks per bottle. New Zealand law requires that the label of any alcoholic beverage must convey the number of standard drinks per bottle. This is designed to assist the consumer to monitor how many units of alcohol they have consumed. The third requirement is the country of origin. It definitely needs to state which country wine or from where the wine is coming from. The next is 85 rule of grape variety, vintage, and area of origin. The rule of label statements about grape variety, vintage, and area of origin are collectively known as the 85 rule. The next one is any additives or processing aids. From the year 2003, all wine labels must state all additives that are used in winemaking process. The reason behind this is to warn anyone who has allergic reaction to any of the products. And the reference to the products are egg products, that includes of egg whites, beef tissue, which is gelatin, or fish tissue, which is isinglass. And all the above products are utilized to fining agents or finning agents in wine making. Now let's understand, and something that New Zealand wine industry is known for is sustainability. Sustainability is an integral part of New Zealand wine industry. New Zealand winemakers and grape growers are committed to crafting exceptional wine while helping the natural environment, local business, and people. New Zealand wine has 6 sustainability focus areas, and this program was adapted in the year 1997. So the 6 elements or the 6 focus areas are climate change, water, soil, waste, pest and disease, and people. The first, that is climate change, and the focus goal of this particular element is New Zealand wine industry wants to become carbon neutral by the year 2050, and hence the wine growers will support the industry to adopt activities which will minimize the carbon footprint. The second element of water. Be a world leader in efficient water use and the protection of water quality by minimizing the water use and ensuring the water supply to remain clean and sustainable is the focus goal of this particular element. The next element is waste. New Zealand wine industry wants to achieve zero waste to landfill by 2050. And the mantra for the same is reduce, reuse, and recycle. The next element is soil. Protecting and enhancing the soil quality and health by using the sustainable products in keeping the health of the soil is the focus goal of this particular element. The next one is pest and disease. The focus goal of this particular element is to understand, reduce, and mitigate impact of existing and potential pest and disease to keep the biosecurity of the country. It wants to be, or New Zealand wants to be, a world leader in sustainable alternatives. The last one is people. It wants to be an industry of choice for workers. And the success of New Zealand wine industry depends strongly on the commitment and the passion of the employees behind it. Hence, for the welfare of the people, it is one of the most important element in sustainability program. References. Thank you. I request students of AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology to take the quiz given on the link in the description box on Wines of New Zealand. Thank you. Happy learning.